A man stuck in traffic, pounding the steering wheel in frustration. An entrepreneur staring at a failed deal, wondering if he's destined for mediocrity. A father watching his child struggle, feeling powerless to fix everything. All different lives. All the same problem, they think the world controls them. But what if it's the other way around? What if your strength doesn't come from what happens to you, but from how you choose to meet it? The Stoics believed that the most powerful kingdom you could ever conquer was yourself. Not your job. Not your bank account. Not even your enemies. Inside you is a fortress more unbreakable than steel, more enduring than mountains. And today, you're going to rediscover it. Acknowledgement of Stoic wisdom. Imagine standing in the middle of a storm, winds howling, rain lashing against your face, yet inside, absolute stillness. This was the vision of inner strength the Stoics held. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome and one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In a world addicted to noise, approval, and constant movement, the Stoics remind us, the only real battlefield is within. The opinions of others, the swings of fortune, even the betrayals and losses you endure, none of these can command your soul without your consent. True power is not measured by how much you can control outside yourself, but how immovable you remain when the outside tries to control you. Modern psychology agrees. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist who survived the horrors of Nazi concentration camps, echoed this principle: everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. The world will test you. It will tempt you. It will betray you. But if your foundation is built on inner strength, you will not be moved. You don't need permission to be strong. You don't need the world to go your way to find peace. Your mind, trained, disciplined, and unshakable, is enough. Wealth is about fewer desires, not possessions. Picture a man surrounded by luxury, expensive cars, a mansion, a private jet. Now picture another man who owns little but feels no lack. Who is truly richer? Seneca, one of Stoicism's sharpest minds, wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Modern society sells the idea that wealth is accumulation, more, bigger, faster. Yet the Stoics teach the opposite: true wealth is freedom from want. When your happiness depends on acquiring, you become a slave to what you don't yet have. When you master your desires, nothing can enslave you. In psychological terms, this aligns with the concept of hedonic adaptation, the tendency to quickly return to a baseline level of satisfaction, no matter how much we acquire. A new car thrills you for a month. Then it becomes just another commute. Epictetus challenged his students to ask, "If you have a body, are you not wealthy enough?" Life's basic gifts, breath, movement, thought, are priceless. Yet we overlook them daily in pursuit of the unnecessary. The wise man trims his needs, not expands them. Real abundance is not about owning more. It's about needing less. Core Stoic teachings and life lessons. The foundation of Stoicism is not complex philosophy locked away in dusty books. It is battle-tested wisdom designed for living, raw, practical, and urgent. The Stoics focused on one brutal truth: you are responsible for your life. Not the government. Not your boss. Not even your past. Marcus Aurelius kept a journal, not for public glory, but to remind himself daily of the core principles that shaped his rule and his soul. Here are the pillars the Stoics taught, lessons that transform talk into action, and mere existence into true living. Emotional self-mastery. You are not your anger. You are not your fear. You are not your sadness. Control of emotion does not mean suppression, it means command. A commander does not panic in battle. Neither should you in life. Freedom through reducing desire. The more you want, the more you are owned by what you lack. Freedom comes from needing little and appreciating much. Refuse to be a puppet. Events happen. People lie, betray, disappoint. You suffer not because of events, but because you allow them to yank your strings. Cut them. Stand free. Purposeful living. Act today as if it were your last day. Speak, decide, and move with finality. There is no time for drifting when every breath might be your final command. Mindset discipline. Clean your thoughts the way you clean your body. Filthy thinking leads to filthy living. Clear thought creates clear purpose. Turning obstacles into fuel. What blocks your way, builds your way. Every hardship is material for greatness, if you dare to see it that way. Toughness in relationships. Expect imperfection from others, demand excellence from yourself. Teach if you can. Endure if you must. But never lose your center because of someone else's weakness. Time mastery. Your minutes are your empire. Waste them and lose your crown. Guard your time with the ferocity of a king defending his last stronghold. Simplicity and contentment. Desire little. Appreciate much. The universe owes you nothing, and yet it has already given you everything. Spiritual strength. No applause is necessary. No validation required. Cultivate virtue in silence and let your life, not your words, testify for you. These are not abstract ideals. They are weapons for the battlefield of life. Emotional self-mastery, control anger, sadness, and fear. A man who cannot govern his emotions is no different from a ship without a rudder, at the mercy of every wave, every gust of wind. The Stoics understood this. They taught that emotions like anger, sadness, and fear are not evil by themselves. They are natural responses. But when they are left unchecked, they become tyrants. Seneca said it plainly, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity. For he is not permitted to prove himself." Anger is the emotion of a man who expected the world to obey him. Sadness is often the cry of entitlement, thinking we deserve more. Fear grows when we fixate on what we cannot control. The solution is not repression, but redirection. In cognitive behavioral therapy, one of the most validated forms of modern psychology, the technique mirrors Stoicism. Recognize the thought driving the emotion, challenge it, and replace it. When anger strikes, ask, "Is this event truly harming me, or is it my judgment about it that harms me?" When sadness weighs you down, ask, "Am I mourning something real, or am I clinging to a fantasy of how I wanted things to be?" When fear tightens your chest, ask, "Am I inventing a disaster that hasn't even happened?" The man who disciplines his emotions disciplines his destiny. He does not explode at the insult. He does not crumble at the setback. He does not flee from the challenge. He stands, clear-eyed, steady, and free. True mastery of life begins with mastery of the self. Freedom comes from reducing desire, not fulfilling it. A man chained to endless wants can never be free, no matter how vast his fortune. Epictetus, born a slave, understood liberty better than the emperors who ruled Rome. He taught, freedom is not achieved by satisfying desire, but by eliminating it. Modern culture screams the opposite, that freedom lies in having the money to buy anything, the power to do anything, the fame to be anyone. But what it delivers is not freedom. It is addiction. Every fulfilled desire plants the seed of 100 new ones. New car, new craving. New promotion, new anxiety. New lover, new insecurity. The Stoic path cuts through this cycle. Freedom comes when you no longer feel you must have anything to be whole. It is the man who can walk away from the table, the man who can smile while losing, the man who can sleep soundly without victory, who is truly free. Psychology supports this. Studies show that those who practice gratitude, focusing on what they already possess rather than what they lack, report higher well-being, better relationships, and stronger resilience under pressure. Freedom is not granted by kings, laws, or wealth. It is granted by the sovereign power of a mind disciplined to desire little and appreciate much. Control your desires, and no one can control you. Avoid being a puppet of external circumstances. Look around you. How many live as puppets, dancing to the pull of fortune, the judgment of others, the whisper of fear? The Stoic does not dance for the world. He commands himself. Epictetus warned his students, if you want to be free, do not wish for things to happen as you wish, but wish for them to happen as they do. When you depend on the world behaving a certain way to feel peace, you have surrendered your power. An insult should not ignite your rage. A loss should not collapse your confidence. An unexpected hardship should not define your worth. The strings others try to pull, approval, status, wealth, are illusions. The Stoic cuts them all, standing tall on his own principles. This teaching finds support in modern psychological resilience theories, which show that those who maintain an internal locus of control, believing that their actions, not external events, determine their outcomes, experience less stress, greater achievement, and stronger mental health. You are not a puppet. You are a commander. Your emotions, your thoughts, your actions, these are your army. Let the world rage, twist, and pull. You will not dance. You will stand. Living with purpose, act as if every action could be your last. The clock is ticking. Not tomorrow. Not next year. Right now. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. Every second you hesitate, every moment you waste in distraction, every hour spent chasing hollow pleasures, it is life you are losing, grain by grain. Living with purpose does not mean frantic activity. It means deliberate action. When you speak, speak as if these could be your final words. When you work, work as if your legacy depended on this task. When you love, love as if you may never get the chance again. This urgency does not lead to panic. It leads to precision. Modern psychology, particularly the concept of flow, supports this idea. True engagement, deep fulfillment, comes when you immerse fully in the task at hand, treating it as the only thing that matters. Living with purpose is about cutting through the noise. It is about refusing to be distracted by the trivial when the eternal is at stake. Do not drift through life like a man asleep at the helm of a great ship. Grip the wheel. Choose your course. Sail with intention. The future is not promised. But purpose, lived today, is victory enough. Don't just talk about philosophy, live it. Words are cheap. Action is rare. In the quiet halls of Stoic teaching, there was no patience for men who could quote Seneca but lose their temper in a market stall, who could recite Epictetus yet tremble at a minor insult. Marcus Aurelius himself warned, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Philosophy is not meant for debates in coffee shops. It is not meant for hollow displays of virtue on social media. It is meant for the battlefield of daily life. When you lose money, do you maintain your dignity? When insulted, do you respond with wisdom or with pride? When burdened with failure, do you fall apart or stand straighter? Modern psychology calls this congruence, when your actions align with your values, producing inner peace and authentic living. The Stoic does not speak of patience, he practices it in the middle of chaos. He does not preach humility, he shows it when praised or mocked. He does not theorize about endurance, he proves it when all comfort is stripped away. Talk is easy. Living is hard. Choose the harder path. Choose the real path. What happens today could happen any time, seize the day. The illusion of time is the greatest trap of all. We tell ourselves there will be a better day to start. A better day to be strong. A better day to live fully. But the Stoics taught, there is no better day than today. There is only now. Seneca wrote, while we are postponing, life speeds by. The obstacles you face today are not accidents. They are training. The setbacks you endure are not punishments. They are proving grounds. Modern psychology echoes this wisdom. Studies on procrastination show that delaying action increases anxiety, diminishes self-respect, and deepens regret. Action now builds power. Delay rots the soul. Do not wait for the stars to align. Do not wait for fear to disappear. Do not wait for motivation to strike like lightning. The man who seizes the day does not wait. He acts, imperfectly, boldly, immediately. You will never have more certainty than you have right now. You will never be more ready than you are at this moment. Seize the day, or the day will seize you. Mindset and thought discipline. Happiness depends on the quality of your thoughts. Your mind is the forge where your life is shaped. If the fire of thought is weak, the steel of your character will be brittle. Marcus Aurelius declared, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." It is not the wealth you possess, the battles you win, or the honors you are given that will determine your peace. It is the quiet, relentless discipline of your thinking. A man who trains his thoughts sharpens his soul like a blade. He watches his mind the way a warrior watches the horizon, alert, disciplined, merciless against weakness. Modern cognitive behavioral therapy, one of the most effective forms of psychological treatment, is built on this truth: change your thoughts, and you change your emotional reality. When fear appears, disciplined thought questions it. When anger rises, disciplined thought redirects it. When despair threatens, disciplined thought overcomes it. You cannot always control what enters your mind. But you can always control what stays. Guard your mind. Challenge your thinking. Refuse to indulge in weak, resentful, or fearful patterns. Your mind is your kingdom. Rule it, or be ruled by it. Life is short for those who waste time fearing the past and future. A man can live 50 years and yet truly experience only a handful of moments. Why? Because he spends most of his time trapped in what was or what might be. Seneca warned, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Fear of the past chains you to what you cannot change. Fear of the future traps you in a prison of shadows and ghosts. Neither the past nor the future is in your control. Only the present is yours to command. Modern psychology confirms this. Research into mindfulness shows that attention anchored in the present reduces anxiety, strengthens focus, and increases emotional resilience. Yet most men live as if they had all the time in the world. They carry old wounds like battle flags. They rehearse imaginary disasters like soldiers preparing for wars that will never come. Each second wasted in regret or worry is life burned without purpose. Cut loose the dead weight of the past. Ignore the false threats of the future. You are alive now. Fight now. Build now. Endure now. Life is not short. It is squandered. Focus on the present and think clearly. In the chaos of life, clarity is a weapon. Most men stumble not because they lack strength, but because their minds are clouded, full of noise, fear, and distraction. The Stoics taught that mastery begins with focus. Marcus Aurelius commanded himself, "Confine yourself to the present." It is in this breath, this moment, that you have power. Not in some distant future. Not in the fading past. When you scatter your thoughts, you scatter your strength. When you gather your thoughts, you become unstoppable. Clear thinking is ruthless. It asks, what is the truth of this situation? What is in my control? What must be done right now? Modern psychology backs this with the concept of cognitive clarity, a state where emotional noise is stripped away, allowing rational and strategic decision-making under pressure. Focus is not a luxury. It is survival. The man who focuses on the present sees opportunities others miss. He responds to challenges while others freeze. He builds while others dream. Clear thought. Ruthless focus. Relentless presence. This is how mountains are moved. This is how empires are built. Dealing with hardship, difficulties strengthen the mind. Hardship is not the enemy. It is the furnace where greatness is forged. Epictetus, who endured slavery and poverty, taught, difficulties show what men are. Ease makes weak men. Struggle makes strong ones. When life presses against you, when the weight feels unbearable, that is not a sign you are being punished. It is a sign you are being shaped. Modern psychology identifies this as post-traumatic growth, the phenomenon where individuals emerge from suffering stronger, more focused, and more resilient than before. Every hardship you face is a chance to carve deeper into your character. Every setback is a hammer striking steel, strengthening your resolve. Every humiliation is a lesson in humility and endurance. Weak men pray for comfort. Strong men pray for strength. When hardship strikes, do not ask, "Why me?" Ask, "How will this make me better?" The world will not stop testing you. It is not meant to. It is your proving ground. Stand firm. Take the blows. Rise harder after every fall. This is how iron souls are made. What stands in the way becomes the way, obstacle equals path. The obstacle is not blocking your path. The obstacle is the path. Marcus Aurelius revealed this timeless secret: the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Most men flee at the first sign of difficulty. The Stoic advances. When you encounter resistance, rejection, injury, betrayal, failure, you are not being defeated. You are being invited to greatness. Modern cognitive psychology supports this Stoic view. Obstacles trigger growth by forcing the mind to adapt, innovate, and strengthen. The mountain is not your enemy. The storm is not your enemy. The loss is not your enemy. They are training partners, sharpening your edge, teaching you endurance, humility, strategy, and resilience. The man who only moves forward when the road is smooth will never reach the summit. The man who moves forward because the road is rough will. Next time you are blocked, smile. Next time you are struck down, rise. Next time you lose, learn. Every setback, every failure, every defeat is a step forward, if you choose to see it. The obstacle is not a wall. It is a door. We suffer more from our imagination than from reality. The mind is a double-edged sword. It can forge resilience, or it can create endless suffering. Seneca exposed this human flaw: we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. How many hours have you spent worrying about events that never happened? How many sleepless nights have been sacrificed to enemies that existed only in your mind? The real blows of life are rare. It is the phantom blows, the imagined disasters, the feared betrayals, the anticipated losses, that erode men from within. Modern psychology names this catastrophizing, a cognitive distortion where the mind exaggerates threats and creates unnecessary suffering. Stoic training demands that you discipline your imagination as fiercely as you would discipline a wild horse. When fear rises, confront it. Is this real, or is this a ghost I have created? When despair creeps in, ask: am I facing a real defeat, or am I surrendering to an imagined one? The Stoic does not fight shadows. He fights real battles, in the real world, with clear eyes and a steady heart. Train your mind to see what is, not what fear whispers. Reality is hard. But your imagination, unchecked, can be crueler still. Master your inner visions. And you master your fate. Relationship with others: be tolerant with others but strict with yourself. Expecting perfection from others is a fool's game. Expecting discipline from yourself is the way of the strong. Marcus Aurelius instructed: be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. Weak men reverse this. They excuse their own failures but condemn every fault they see in others. The Stoic knows better. When you encounter stupidity, weakness, betrayal, remember, these are not rare exceptions. They are the natural state of most of humanity. Your task is not to fix everyone. It is to master yourself in their presence. Modern psychological studies on emotional intelligence show that those who manage their responses to others, instead of trying to control them, have stronger leadership, deeper relationships, and greater internal peace. When insulted, remain composed. When disappointed, remain resolute. When surrounded by mediocrity, remain excellent. Do not let the faults of others become excuses for your own decay. Be a fortress of discipline amid the chaos. Be an island of strength amid the tide of weakness. Tolerate the world's flaws. Crush your own. Associate with people who uplift you. You are the average of the company you keep. Choose poorly, and you will be dragged into weakness without even noticing it. Seneca gave this warning: associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve. Weak men seek comfort in the approval of the mediocre. Strong men seek the fire of those who challenge them, who sharpen their minds, who ignite their ambition. Modern psychology reinforces this truth. Studies show that social environments deeply influence behavior, mindset, and emotional resilience. Surround yourself with the jealous, and you will shrink. Surround yourself with the lazy, and you will stall. Surround yourself with the bitter, and you will rot from within. Instead, seek out those who demand your best. Men who inspire higher standards. Men who embody discipline, courage, and purpose. And be that man for others. If no such company is near you, walk alone rather than in bad company. A solitary wolf is stronger than a sheep lost in a herd. Choose your comrades as you would choose your sword, not for decoration, but for battle. Teach or endure others, do not expect to change everyone. Trying to reform the world is a fast path to frustration. Trying to reform yourself is the path to mastery. Epictetus reminded his students, it is the mark of an educated man to look for his own faults and not the faults of others. If you can teach, teach. If you cannot, endure. But never let your peace depend on others changing. Modern psychology affirms this principle: emotional maturity is linked to the ability to accept others as they are without needing to control them. You will meet the arrogant, the ignorant, the malicious, the weak. Some can be guided. Many cannot. Your task is to offer wisdom without demand. Offer example without expectation. If they rise, good. If they fall, remain unmoved. Do not argue with fools. Do not beg the coward to be brave. Do not waste your breath trying to ignite fire in wet wood. Lead where you can. Endure where you must. But never compromise your soul in the attempt. A lion does not concern himself with the opinion of sheep. Neither should you. Life philosophy: progress is the result of daily self-work, not luck. The world loves to glorify luck. The Stoic laughs at it. Seneca wrote, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Progress is not a favor granted by fortune. It is the compound interest of daily discipline. Every day you choose to train your mind, to master your emotions, to hone your craft, you forge a new destiny. Modern behavioral science confirms this: consistent, small habits produce greater long-term results than rare bursts of massive effort. Luck may explain a moment. Character explains a lifetime. The man who waits for the perfect moment never moves. The man who improves himself daily becomes unstoppable, no matter how the world shifts. Wake up and work while others dream. Study while others distract themselves. Build while others complain. Progress is not an accident. It is earned, minute by minute, decision by decision, breath by breath. Do not pray for luck. Pray for strength, and then get to work. Time is precious, use it wisely. There is no asset more valuable than time. Yet most men spend it as if it were infinite. Seneca issued a brutal truth: it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. You can lose money and earn it back. You can lose strength and rebuild it. But every second lost is gone forever. Modern research supports this. Studies show that people who view time as a scarce, precious resource live with greater purpose, deeper relationships, and stronger fulfillment. Guard your time like a warrior guards his sword. Cut away trivial conversations. Abandon mindless distractions. Eliminate anything that does not forge your mind or strengthen your mission. Ask yourself daily, is this moment moving me forward or wasting my life? Time is your raw material. Build greatness with it, or waste into regret. You are not promised another hour. Make the one you have count. Even death is not inherently bad, it's our fear of it that harms us. Death is not the enemy. It is a fact of nature, as common and inevitable as the rising of the sun. The Stoics faced death not with dread, but with calm acceptance. Seneca wrote, "He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a living man." It is not death itself that poisons life. It is the fear of death, the constant anxiety, the hesitation, the shrinking back from bold action, that cripples the soul. Modern existential psychology agrees, confronting mortality directly leads to greater meaning, deeper engagement with life, and a fiercer sense of purpose. You are mortal. You are perishable. You are running out of time. This is not cause for panic. It is a call to arms. Knowing you will die should not paralyze you. It should sharpen you, make you live more urgently, love more deeply, act more bravely. The Stoic wakes up each morning remembering death, not in sadness, but in fierce gratitude. Another day granted. Another day to fight. Another day to live with honor. Fear death, and you will never live. Face death, and you will truly begin. Simplicity and contentment, a wise person desires little. Power is not found in having more. It is found in needing less. Epictetus taught, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Modern men drown in consumption. They chase possessions, titles, and applause, believing that fulfillment lies just one purchase or promotion away. But each gain only sharpens the hunger for more. Each victory is followed by a deeper emptiness. Modern studies in positive psychology confirm what the Stoics knew: gratitude and simplicity lead to greater happiness than any material accumulation. The wise man desires little. He finds riches in a clear mind, a strong body, loyal companions, and honest work. He is not impressed by luxury, nor intimidated by loss. Because everything essential to his happiness is within his control. Strip your life of the unnecessary. Let go of possessions that possess you. Desire less, and find that you already have everything you need. Simplicity is not poverty. It is supreme abundance. True riches come from being content, not from external wealth. A man who depends on riches to feel rich is already poor. Seneca declared, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." External wealth is fragile. It can be stolen, lost, burned, or devalued. But internal wealth, contentment, virtue, strength of character, is untouchable. The marketplace can collapse. Fortunes can evaporate. Fame can rot into obscurity. But a man who is content with himself stands untouched amid the ruins. Modern research on life satisfaction supports this ancient wisdom. Internal traits like gratitude, resilience, and purpose are stronger predictors of happiness than income or status. The Stoic is rich because he needs little, not because he owns much. He owns his thoughts. He owns his actions. He owns his destiny. Seek riches outside yourself, and you will be forever poor. Build riches within, and no power on earth can take them from you. The treasure you seek is already yours, if you have the discipline to recognize it. Life's blessings are already within us. The modern man scours the world searching for blessings, blind to the fact that they are already in his hands. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life, it is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. You breathe. You move. You think. You feel. You have the tools of greatness already embedded in your soul. Modern positive psychology shows that focusing on internal strengths, gratitude, resilience, compassion, leads to higher life satisfaction than any external achievement. Yet most men ignore these gifts. They trade their peace for illusions. They bargain their joy for distractions. They sacrifice their freedom for cravings they do not even understand. The Stoic sees differently. He wakes up and thanks the universe for the strength in his body, the clarity in his mind, and the breath in his lungs. He knows that no fame, no fortune, no external trophy can rival the silent power already flowing through him. Your blessings are not on a distant horizon. They are under your feet. They are in your hands. They are in your spirit. Look within. Claim them. Practical Stoic principles: stay calm amid chaos. In the middle of chaos, the Stoic remains unmoved. When others panic, he sharpens his focus. When others weep, he strengthens his will. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The world will always be turbulent. Markets will crash. Plans will collapse. People will betray. But none of that can touch a man who has anchored himself in reason. Modern neuroscience supports this. Those who regulate their emotional responses rather than reacting impulsively maintain better decision-making, resilience, and leadership under pressure. The Stoic principle is clear: control yourself before attempting to control the world. When storms rage, plant your feet deeper. When insults fly, guard your dignity. When losses come, hold your peace. Calmness is not weakness. It is power. The man who stays calm while others lose themselves controls the battlefield, whether it is a negotiation, a crisis, or the battlefield of life itself. Be the eye of the storm. Still. Focused. Unbreakable. Master yourself before trying to master the world. Every man dreams of commanding armies, building empires, leaving legacies. Few realize the first battlefield lies within. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Conquer yourself rather than the world." What use is conquering cities if you are a slave to your own emotions? What value is building fortunes if you collapse at every insult? Modern psychological studies emphasize that self-regulation, the ability to manage impulses, emotions, and behaviors, is one of the strongest predictors of success across all areas of life. Before you attempt to lead others, lead your own mind. Before you demand loyalty, demand discipline from yourself. Before you seek to change the world, change your thoughts, your habits, your character. The Stoic does not blame the system, the government, or fate. He begins and ends with the only thing fully under his control: himself. Master your fears. Master your desires. Master your thoughts. Then, and only then, will you be fit to master anything else. Accept fate without resentment. There are events you can control. And there are events you cannot. The Stoics taught that wisdom lies in mastering the difference, and meeting the uncontrollable with strength, not bitterness. Epictetus said it clearly: do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather, wish that what happens be the way it happens, and you will be happy. Fate is not your enemy. Fate is your training partner, hammering your soul into iron. Modern psychology's concept of radical acceptance aligns perfectly. Those who accept what they cannot change, without resentment, experience less suffering and greater personal growth. When fate sends hardship, the weak man curses the sky. The Stoic thanks the gods for another opportunity to prove his virtue. Acceptance does not mean passivity. It means you fight the battles that are yours to fight, and meet the rest with honor, courage, and a clear mind. You do not bend fate to your will. You bend your will to face fate. No resentment. No bitterness. No surrender. Only relentless forward motion. Laugh at lies and correct yourself if criticism is true. The words of others have power only if you grant them power. Epictetus taught, if anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you but answer, he was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned only these. When others lie about you, laugh. When others criticize you, listen, and sharpen yourself if they speak truth. Weak men crumble under insults. Strong men sift through them, discard the lies, and use the truth to become sharper weapons. Modern psychological research on resilience confirms this. People who respond to criticism with curiosity instead of defensiveness grow faster, adapt better, and lead more effectively. You have nothing to fear from the words of others. Their lies cannot stain your character. Their truths, if they exist, are gifts of correction. Do not waste your energy defending your ego. Use your energy to refine your soul. Smile at the slander. Thank your enemies for the free lessons. Become better, quietly, relentlessly. Their noise is irrelevant. Your virtue is everything. Spiritual focus on inner virtue, not outward appearance. The crowd praises the glittering mask. The Stoic honors the rugged soul beneath it. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Modern society obsesses over appearance, over branding, perception, image. But true strength, true nobility, lies in the invisible realm of character. Modern psychological studies show that those who invest energy into intrinsic goals, personal growth, meaning, integrity, experience far greater life satisfaction than those who chase status or image. Do not ask, how do I look? Ask, who am I becoming? A polished reputation is worthless if the soul behind it is rotting. A weathered, uncelebrated man who lives with honor is richer than any king. Work in silence. Strengthen your honesty, your courage, your endurance, whether or not anyone sees it. The Stoic needs no audience. His virtue is reward enough. Focus on the unseen. Build the unseen. Honor the unseen. The world may be blind, but your soul sees everything. Aspire to higher values, regardless of public opinion. The mob is loud, fickle, and often wrong. The Stoic moves by a different compass. Epictetus declared, if you wish to be good, first believe that you are bad. Not because you are worthless, but because real growth demands brutal honesty with yourself, not blind approval from others. Public opinion rises and falls like the wind. One day they will cheer you. The next, they will condemn you. If your values depend on their noise, you are already lost. Modern psychological research shows that individuals anchored in intrinsic values, honesty, perseverance, wisdom, withstand external pressure better and live with deeper meaning. Aspire to greatness not because it will be applauded, but because it is right. Pursue virtue not for the trophies it brings, but for the man it shapes you into. If the crowd mocks you, endure. If they misunderstand you, stay the course. If they abandon you, keep walking. Your standard is not set by the shifting crowd. It is carved in the bedrock of your own soul. Live for truth, not applause. Live for strength, not popularity. Live for honor, not approval. Confine your attention to the present moment. The present moment is a weapon, sharp, pure, unbreakable. Yet most men abandon it for the mist of yesterday or the mirage of tomorrow. Marcus Aurelius urged himself, do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life. The Stoic does not scatter his mind across regrets or dreams. He plants it firmly in now, where real action, real change, real life exists. Modern neuroscience proves this ancient wisdom. Focused presence increases performance, reduces anxiety, and strengthens emotional resilience. Your only battlefield is now. Your only power is now. Your only duty is now. When you act, act fully. When you think, think clearly. When you move, move decisively. Forget what has been lost. Ignore what has yet to come. Grip the present with both hands and shape it like iron in the forge. Victory is not won tomorrow. It is won today, in this breath, in this decision, in this moment. Be where your feet are. Fight where you stand. Final reminders: respect the past, be open to the future. The past is a teacher, not a prison. The future is a possibility, not a guarantee. The Stoic respects the lessons carved by time but refuses to be chained by them. Seneca advised, "What fortune has made yours is not your own." The past offers victories and scars alike, but neither defines you unless you let them. Modern psychology echoes this. Resilience is built by learning from the past without being consumed by it, and preparing for the future without being paralyzed by it. Look at the past with clear eyes. Honor its lessons. Forgive its wounds. But do not live there. Greet the future with readiness, not fear. Expect obstacles. Expect change. But do not bet your soul on what may never come. You are the bridge between yesterday and tomorrow. Build that bridge with wisdom, not regret. With strength, not worry. Carry the past like armor, not a chain. Face the future like a warrior, not a beggar. Life isn't short, it's wasted by poor choices. Life offers enough time for greatness. It is not the clock that robs men of their destiny, it is their own choices. Seneca wrote with ruthless clarity, "Life is long, if you know how to use it." Most men squander life in trivialities, idle talk, pointless distractions, empty ambitions. They treat their days like a cheap currency, spent without thought, wasted without regret. Modern behavioral science agrees, attention, not time, is the true currency of achievement and fulfillment. It is not that you lack time. It is that you have scattered it on what does not matter. Every choice is a brick laid in the construction of your character. Every wasted moment is a crack in the foundation of your future. Live deliberately. Choose fiercely. Cut ruthlessly anything that steals your purpose. Your life is not short. Your life is waiting for you to stop wasting it. Stay serene no matter what happens externally. True strength is calm under fire. True wisdom is steady amid storms. Epictetus taught, there is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. The Stoic remains unmoved whether praised or insulted, rich or poor, victorious or wounded. Modern psychological resilience research supports this ancient truth. Those who anchor their emotional state internally, rather than externally, experience greater stability, fulfillment, and leadership. The world outside you will always fluctuate, fortunes gained and lost, friendships tested and broken, opportunities appearing and disappearing like mist. You cannot command the chaos. But you can command your reaction. When loss strikes, stay serene. When betrayal cuts, stay serene. When fortune smiles, stay serene. Your center must be built not on sand but on stone. You are not the storm. You are the mountain that stands through it. Endure without bitterness. Advance without arrogance. Win without pride. Lose without despair. This is serenity. This is invincibility. The way of the Stoic warrior. The world will not slow down. The storms will not cease. The battles will not wait. But you, if you have listened, if you have understood, are no longer the same man who started this journey. You have seen the power hidden inside you. You have remembered the truth the Stoics lived and died by. Strength is not granted. It is built. Peace is not given. It is forged. Freedom is not found. It is claimed within. From now on, carry these principles not as ideas, but as weapons. Master your emotions. Focus your mind. Seize your time. Accept your fate. Rule yourself. Stand calm while others panic. Stay firm while others waver. Lie fully while others drift. The world is desperate for men of strength, clarity, and purpose. Be one. Live like this. Fight like this. Die like this. And in the end, whether fortune lifts you high or buries you in the dirt, you will have lived well, and that is victory beyond the reach of kings. Now, it is your turn. Reflect on what struck you most from this journey. Comment below, what principle will you apply first? Subscribe for more weapons for the mind. Share this video with those who are ready to build themselves into something greater. And above all, do not just listen. Live it. Start today.